So after the breakup, actually, I just want to confirm. So at that point, so you're doing your own thing, but you two are still, LottoBoyzz are still a thing, but it's just that you're both on your own personal life journey. So it's not that, did you two officially split up?
No, not straight after. No.
Yeah, but eventually.
Eventually, yes.
Okay, cool. Well, can you talk me through then what led to you two breaking up?
Yeah. Do you want
I think it was the whole me being like unbalanced with like my situation that was going on. Actually, I don't know from Ash's perspective, but this is from my perspective. From me being like unbalanced and being in and out of hospital, it kind of put a hold on things. Yeah. So then like, with that being said, it's like I'm slowing down the movement of the overall camp. So it's just like, I just felt like I become a burden. Like it was bad. Like, and yeah, I just felt it kind of drifting away, if in a sense. And it took me a while to recover, find my confidence again, to put myself back out there. And yeah, I think it just took too much time.
Okay, what was it from your perspective?
Yeah, it was kind of that. I think it was that. But at the same time, I had other stuff going on. Okay. Do you get what I mean? I think when I say stuff, I'm talking about like my own personal, in terms of like my calling, because I went back to church properly after that, and I felt more at home than I did in my own house, which was crazy. Wow. I felt like I was able to cry here. No one would come and say to me, "Oh, why are you crying, bro? Fix up." Do you get me? And it was just a thing where it's between me and God. Do you get what I mean? And it made me remember how it was before LottoBoyzz. Do you get what I mean? Because before LottoBoyzz, that wasn't me. I'm not a Lotto boy. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I'm Imran. Yeah. Do you get me? And that whole, I'll get onto the name thing after that, but for me at the time, when everything was going on with Luke, I had no understanding again. But at this time, I wanted to understand. I tried for a while to try and understand, but then at the same time, everyone's battle is their own, and I tried to impose and tell, and like, Luke, don't do this, don't do that, and it's like, you can't cut it off from the branch, you need to find out what the root is. Yeah. But I think like trying to cut something off from the branch can make someone feel like you're attacking them, rather than me trying to like help to say like, yo, maybe therapy. I was just like, nah, bro, we need to. I was prepping out because I'm like, I got stuff to do. Do you get what I mean? So of course now my mindset is, I don't want to understand anymore. Do you get what I mean? I don't want to understand. Leave me alone. Do you get what I mean? And that was me again, running from things. So this was all before I went therapy, by the way. So, and obviously we've come back. We made plus 4. Now then, after that, I still started seeing a repeat. So by then I'm like, oh man, you think this is happening again?
You started to check out.
And at the same time, I've never experienced anxiety ever in my life. So when I started experiencing it, I'm like, yo, why am I dying? I was on my bed and I'm like, my heart. My mum's running downstairs, what's wrong? Because obviously I've been back home, innit? So mom's running downstairs, what's wrong? I said, mommy, I'm dying. Now, for my family, it was a lot. To hear their son come back home and now you're dying. They have no idea what to do. They have no clue. They've never witnessed this in their whole life. They're looking at the breadwinner dying.
Yeah, that's tough.
So in their mind, it's like, let's try and help in any way we possibly can. Obviously, they did their best, and it was a week where ambulance kept coming to my house. It was 1 week. They came to my house 3 times. Fuck. Because I ended up not breathing. I don't know how anxiety even works. I don't even want to try and understand it, but like, I ended up not breathing myself into passing out. Do you get what I mean? Wow. So ambulance had to come to my house. Now they came and couldn't help me because it's like, we think anxiety is just something that you have to like nurture. And I'm like, nurture?
Fuck.
for the rest of my life. After I've lived my whole of my life without it, all of a sudden it's this. The only thing they've asked me was, where are you now? Has something changed? So the only thing that was going on at the moment was Luke's situation, and of course it was affecting everyone. But I've then made a conscious decision, like, I don't ever want to be in this position ever again. Do you get what I mean? And that's not anyone's fault apart from me not wanting to understand from the beginning. Yeah. Do you get what I mean? Now, it's a different thing of where now I have a space to, obviously I'm my own person. Yeah. And I'm learning. I don't get everything correct, but at least I get to learn and make my own decisions. Do you get what I mean? So, yeah, so we did end up splitting because of obviously different perceptions and also my own calling.
Yeah. So, and during that time then, like musically you split, was you still friends, or for the reasons you explained, did the friendship also kind of stop as well?
Like I went a bit distant, like, because I just I couldn't comprehend what was going on with me, so I did take myself out of the picture from like everyone. I started answering calls, kind of just went missing, so I feel like it did kind of die down with us, but like we'd reach out to each other here and there, like birthdays especially, like we'd reach out, but yeah, it kind of took its toll. Like my problems kind of took its toll on the overall friendship, if you get what I'm trying to say.
It sounded like, so you both was going through your own mental health journey in different ways. So Ash, you've touched on a little bit about your calling. Do you want to talk me through like more about that?
Yeah. Well, I felt while I was even in LottoBoyzz, and I know that I don't think these guys even remember, there was a time where I was asking a lot of questions and saying, oh, guys, like, you know, what if I leave? Kind of thing. Because in Manchester, I had an encounter by which I've ended up hearing the Lord and then seeing a physical being in front of me telling me, you need to leave LottoBoyzz. Now, I've just cast it off as, I'm tired. Till this day, I'm still thinking, I was just tired. Yeah. Now, you have to now think of that being in the back of my mind while everything was going on. I've stayed because I'm like, well, to be honest, I was actually drinking before, the night before, so I'm like, let me throw that off. These that have never made me feel uncomfortable about it. Maf don't even remember his. Maf was like, bro, if you want to go, like, just come and tell us. He was very, like, open to it. Yeah. Do you get what I mean? And I felt like it was almost too peaceful. I was just like, nah, I'm not leaving. Do you get me? It was too calm. I'm like, you think you're gonna shine without me? Yeah. My foot is here. You get me? But it wasn't. It was my own. It was my own calling again. Yeah. So I then carried on. The day when I went to church, I told the story a lot. I was in church. I was sitting pompously. It was me and Luke that was there that time. Remember that time that woman was preaching?
Yeah.
So we come back to church, I'm chilling, Luke come with me, and at the time I was in there looking to see what new girls were in the building. Like, I'm coming from Lotto Boy to go to church. Do you get what I mean? So in my head I'm thinking, hey, what kind of sweet, I've come back and everyone is the same. I said, I just sat like this, I said, oh, it's just my family and my bros. Oh. While I was sitting, not concerned about nothing, not thinking about anything, I've heard literally this as loud as day, go home. So I've jumped up, I'm like, what's? Now I'm looking around, I'm like, why is the pastor shouting? I look up and it's a lady. I heard evidently a guy, not even a guy, almost stunned there, speaking to me. So I'm like, no, what's going on? Anyhow, bear in mind, I'm not in church at this point. I don't know anything about God like that apart from there is a God. That's all I believe in. And I said, okay, after this, I'm going to go up to the front. I don't know if you remember, we both went to the front.
Yeah, is this the day you was getting on to me about wearing my chain at church?
I think so, yeah. All of a sudden, I quickly tried to turn holy, but it's gone. So obviously, I went to the front and the lady said to me, she went to go pray for me because I didn't tell her what was wrong. She said, you have a decision to make. I'm like, eh? She said, but I know you make the right one. So automatically I'm like, as soon as I leave here, I'm like, I know it wasn't the pastor that said it because it was a lady. It wasn't my own brain because I heard it as if it was almost like standing here.
Yeah.
And I'm on a roll where it's spaced out, no one's by me. And if you was to shout like that, the whole church would hear it, nobody else moved. So I'm like, I'm gonna go home. And that was when I actually went home. I remember the time when I was told to leave Lotto Boyzz and I didn't. Do you get what I mean? And it was always in the back of my mind, but I thought, I'm still here anyway. After a while, when I saw Luke's situation, nobody knows, but in terms of my house, I started blaming myself. Cause I'm like, is this all because I didn't leave? At a point, do you get what I mean? And I'm thinking, is this my fault? So I then started blaming myself. Feeling, and that's probably that's why I actually withdrew from even trying to contact Luke. Because I'm like, without him even knowing, I felt like I had a part to play. Do you get what I mean? Especially now that Luke's back good, everything is fresh, and I'm like, yo, you're back. And then also like even more so, is this because I didn't leave her? Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So then I'm now, that's my thought process. But in terms of my calling, I didn't know what my calling was. I had no purpose. My identity, these guys know. I found identity in Lotto Boyzz, and then Lotto Boyzz didn't even know who I am. I find identity in my friends leave, I don't know who I am. And then I ended up that's why I'm always a bit of a loner. Do you get what I mean? But it's just the way I feel like God made it, so that I can know who I am in him rather than everybody else. Do you get what I mean? So my calling brought me to a place where now I'm okay with how things went.
Yeah.
Not necessarily happy. Could it have been different? Of course, but it wasn't. Do you get what I mean? But in terms of my calling, I know that I'm called to minister in some sort of way. Do you get what I mean? And be fully for church, fully for what I believe in.
Yeah.
And bringing people to know who I find my security in. Do you get what I mean? And that I found more joy, because there was one time I ended up ministering one time at church, and recently, last November, and I found more joy then than actually being at a show, and that's when I knew my purpose is actually here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, so where does that leave? Because we'll talk a little bit more about future endeavours for everyone, but where does that leave you then? Do you still want to be an artist? Do you still where do you sit with it all?
At one point I quit.
Yeah.
I quit music because I was like, music is headache. But then through indulging in thoughts about it, and also considering speaking to my mentors and stuff like that, somehow I've ended up back in the studio. But then I made a gospel song, which I was trying to fight for a very, very, very long time. And then one day I did. And then what I always remembered is conversation, because me and Maf had a lot of conversations about being a man. Do you get what I mean? And he always said to me, if you believe in something, do that. Don't sugarcoat it. Just tell me what this is.
Yeah.
Just do this. Do you get what I mean? And be pinpoint, focus everything you have on this. If this is who you are, this is you. If you're an apple, you're an apple. If you're orange, you're orange. Even if you're not an orange, if this is who you are, then fully just believe in it. And I realized I was doing half and half when I was still releasing secular music. So in terms of where it has me now, I'm like, yes, I'm gonna release music again, but I'm just gonna do gospel, because that's where I feel in my fullness rather than half and half. Do you know what I mean? So,
yeah. So where does that leave Lotto Boyzz? Does that mean that you used to continue to release separately, or do you know? You might not even know yet.
Yeah, well, like, I'm just gonna cut in there because obviously, LottoBoyzz, even though it got picked because of the song and all of that, but in reality, that was our thing that we were doing, if you get what I'm saying. So at any time it can get rebranded, we can add more members, we can recruit new guys. Like today we just dropped a single which has only got Lucas on it, but it still comes out as LottoBoyzz because at the moment, as a camp, he is the only person flying the flag for the camp.
Yeah.
He dropped the song with Lyco and it's doing the best any of our songs has done in terms of first day numbers and first day perception. So where it's at now, it's a matter of everyone's gonna focus on doing what they want to do.
Yeah.
Like what makes them happy. Like and just to go off what Ash has said, because what he said was true. Like before this, he wasn't a Lotto boy. He was a church going guy. That's where I got him from, if you get what I'm saying. That's where I grabbed Ash from. And then Lukey was this cool guy from New Jerusalem center that could rap. I've grabbed him, his coolness, Ash's voice, and we've merged that together and we've created this brand and this perception. But obviously, if we take away this brand and this perception, that's not who he was, if you know what I'm saying. And I think you see the music roller coaster thing, you going high and low, like you going through your low of the music career, and the person who was originally telling you you are this guy, you are who people are perceiving you to be, he's not even here no more. Maf's gone, you know what I'm saying. Now you are LottoBoyzz by yourself, and you're going through the down period of the music career where you're putting out shit. It might not necessarily hit as it was. That depressing feeling can send people mental. Yeah. So I definitely understand why he's felt comfort and felt happiness and felt joy in going back to where he originally came from, where I originally recruited him from. And he will tell you, I've always said to him, I pray to God that all your heart desires, you achieve it, because that's what I want for everyone that I have love for. You know what I'm saying? And like the fact that we as men were able, because I tell you this for free, in 2019, if you had asked me about us, I couldn't even see us ever being sat here right now. Like I couldn't see it. That's like,
beautiful though.
Like we were like where we were at mentally was crazy, but we're back here now. We've dropped records. The music's doing what it needs to do, and it's about elevating and trying to win now, man. You know what I'm saying? No bad energy. Anything I can do to support Imran, his career, I'm gonna do that to the best of my ability. Not that he needs me, and I know that it's vice versa. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, but we're already in the like Lukey's in that. That's we're in the same camp. Me and Lucas are in the LottoBoyzz is back around me, and we're back doing what we were originally doing. Now, whether this same visionary is gonna decide we're gonna recruit some more members, or however we're gonna play it, like, just know that LottoBoyzz is definitely not dead. It's never gonna die, man. You know.
It's just changing form.
It's changing form.
I suppose when you look at groups, like we've seen members change in like Sugar Babe, Destiny's Child, like it happens all the time. But I suppose though, when it's a duo, you don't really expect that because you just know them as a duo. So I suppose that's probably why people wouldn't have thought that, but you've cleared that up now, so it makes sense. There's a few other scenarios and situations that I want to touch on. Obviously, for the viewers, we need to talk through it all. So,
go on.
Maf, after the breakup, you was moving a little bit mad on socials. I'm not gonna lie. I remember seeing a lot of the stuff, and I was like, "Whoa, okay, whoa, this is going off."
Okay.
Why was you acting up on socials like that? Do you regret that? Talk me through it.
Okay, I definitely regret it. Because looking back, that was very unboss-like. That was uncool, not the kind of person I ever want to be perceived as, 100%. But I would say a coping mechanism for, imagine knowing I've never stolen from these guys.
Yeah.
But the perception is you're a thief, and I have to accept this. Like, I walk into a room, there's nothing I'm about to tell this person that's gonna convince them that I'm not a finesser, and I can't control that. I promise you, that definitely played a big role, because it was just hard.
Yeah.
It was fucking hard, and it's because, obviously, again, I thank God in me finding purpose in this. The passion and me knowing that, okay, I'm here for a reason, just kept me going and kept the hunger and all of that stuff. But me moving mad online was actually first a reaction to Lukey, because Lukey actually started the whole online thing off the back of me doing an interview, because obviously at the time there was no two narratives to it. It was just Maf finessed them, they broke up, cool. I decided to link up with Amaru Don TV and put out another narrative so that there could be two sides to this story.
Yeah.
And I think that might have made Lukey crack out. From that interview happened, there started being stuff online from him, and I started to play into it as well, if you know what I'm saying. And then Ash dropped a freestyle. Like, again, I'm playing into that. I'm playing into that as well. Like, I'm just, it was more reactions, but I guess because of when I'm reacting, I would take it 10 times further than the action.
Yeah.
Like, so ultimately they will only see my action and they won't even see what's triggered it. But in all honesty, it was all just a coping mechanism for where I emotionally was at the time, you know? And I definitely would never handle situations like that again. And I advise anyone who's ever in a situation going online to argue with your artist or anything about it, you will never win. It's never a good look, if you know what I'm saying.
So why did you take it to socials? What made you want to do that?
I'm not even sure, you know. I feel like it was probably, was it after you thing?
Yeah, it was after the Amari
it was just after the interview, like, it's just being petty and like, I don't know, I was just going through the swings of like, probably feeling like, oh yeah, we're on top of Maf now, man. Like, why is he even talking on the situation kind of thing? Like, I can't even think why I really delved into that side of things right now.
Okay,
Yeah.
I hear it. So obviously, Maf, at the moment, you've got, I'm going to set the scene. You're apparently a finesser. You're moving, erratic feels dramatic, but you're moving a little bit mad on socials, like a lot's being said, and then you work with other artists now as well. Obviously you're working with Gambini, Marnie. What happened there? Why did you guys stop working together? Was that bad blood as well, or what?
Okay, you know what? I would say for Wavy Gang and for Gambini, I would say at the time they got greedy.
Okay.
There were egos involved. Like, the idea of, Maf's just broken up with Lotto. He needs us more than we need him. Like, so we need to have a say. Not necessarily have a say, because you're always gonna have a say in your career. But we need to always have the final say on every move being made. Now, for me, I felt like, because you guys don't know what you're doing, sorry, there's so much fluff on this thing, but because of you guys don't actually know what you're doing, and every move I've ever told you to make has worked.
Yeah.
If it's not broken, let's not fix it. Let's just carry on going. Obviously, I would say, for Gambini and Wavy Gang, the ego thing, definitely played a big role where they just started to get ahead of themselves, and then it got to a stage where I think because we had put out records and they were doing well, like they were growing. Like we put out Playtime, put out Stylish Guy.
Not gonna lie, Stylish Guy, that was my tune. I rinse that still, even though I'm like, I still rinse it.
Really dope ass song. And Gambini was the first one where he was like, oh, bro, I just can't be in this no more, man. And this was, again, me shooting myself in the foot because I'm doing business with artists. I've just broken up with these guys where in reality, this has only been able to happen because I didn't do the paperwork properly, because I didn't do the business properly. But I'm here making the exact same mistake with these other guys. I felt like, again, this was another lesson that God wanted me to learn, that, brother, no matter who it is, you have, whatever your agreement is, you have it down on paper and it's signed legally so that there's no, one day you just wake up, tell me, I don't feel like I can be in this no more. Even though the last song we've put out is doing well, and now it's a matter of, I can do this shit by myself. But it's like, okay, but I've just invested over 20 grand into your career. Like, I'm trying to recoup and win, but it's like, well, that's a you problem. Like, there's no paperwork that legally makes me have to stay here, so I'm gonna keep it stepping. And that's genuinely what Wavy Gang and Gambini did to man at the time. But obviously, life is life. Wavy Gang, like, you look in the back of the studio there, Droid is in the house, like, we've rekindled, like, we've put our differences behind us. And even Droid was running this studio space for us for a bit, like, and he was like the leader of the Wavy Gang, if you know what I'm saying, where it's like, the moment they realized, once they've gone, and the same thing that Lotto done, which is, they've gone out, they've started to put out records by themselves, it's not having the same effect. Once that happened, I stopped being the problem, and then it became a matter of, okay, maybe I shouldn't have had an ego, and maybe I should have actually listened to Donny, if you know what I'm saying. And then with Marnie, me and Marnie never ever had a problem. The reality of it is, she was just never actually an artist. Like, the first day she ever came into a studio, obviously I actually met her from, I never actually met her, I saw her from online. She must have had a fight with someone, with a guy in McDonald's, as a female girl, having a fight with a Donny in McDonald's, and Donny's banged her, like, and she's still coming at the guy, like. So I'm just like, fucking hell, like, who is this Lighty from Birmingham? Like, and she had a big following. So I'm like, I've invited her into the studio for us to just have a conversation. Somehow, on that day, I've ended up making a record for her. I've channeled into my alter ego, the Mafia, gone into the booth. I've done BAE as a song. I've then made her obviously go in and then go over my vocals, and then obviously we've taken my vocals out. Now we've got BAE, and there's Wavy Gang in the studio at the time. I'm like, Droid, you're the coldest in Wavy Gang. You might as well jump on this. Droid has dropped a verse. The song's done well. The first song, and this is the first time she's seen me. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Coming into the studio, I've recorded BAE. We've made a record, we've put it out, it's done 1 million streams, 1 million views. It's like, oh fuck, okay, this guy can actually do this. And then we've done it again, and then eventually, I just started to feel like, yo, this ain't really, like, unless I go into the studio and make the music and write, and then she comes in to do hers after, like, we're not doing anything else unless I do that. Yeah. And now I started to feel like I wanted this more than she wanted it. When you're the artist, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So after we done Bromtown, again, I wrote her verse for her. She's delivered the verse, bad boy verse. From there, I just told her, from here, you need to start making some moves. You need to start trying to make music or write or do stuff yourself. And obviously, because of that was never really her calling, there was never really gonna be no energy for her to do it, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then after a few months of now, I am just leaving her to bring something to me. You bring to me something you've written, or try and do something to do with this music thing and bring it to me, because I don't have the energy to keep wanting this more than you do, and the whole, you need songwriters, you need choreographers, you need vocal lessons, all of this stuff. Like, she just doesn't naturally have the energy to want to be a better artist, which is where you need to be at mentally if you're trying to win. So, like, one day she just tried to, she was like, she came to man saying, "Oh, Maf, you argue with people online too much." These times we was I'm past all of that shit. I'm in a new headspace, but again, I felt like that was the only excuse that she could bring up. And she's like, "Oh, you argue with people online too much, so I want to go, like, I'm gonna leave." And I was like, okay, well, cool. But in my heart, I knew it's because we're not doing nothing. And if I brought the next move for her, then we would have maneuvered. But the lesson I took from that is, you can't want this more than a person wants it for themselves.
Yeah,
Ash is another example of that. Like, we're going through what we're going through now because of the same thing. Spotting talent and seeing what they can be beyond what they can see in themselves. Sometimes you ain't like, that's like sometimes it just doesn't need to happen. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the visionary doesn't need to be a visionary. Even though sometimes being the visionary is great and you can create some great stuff, but sometimes once the visionary leaves, it's like the energy, where's the source of the energy to keep going, if you get what I'm saying? And genuinely, that's why I felt like me and Marnie broke up. So there was never ever no bad blood. There was never ever a conversation of, oh, we got finessed. Like, you weren't making enough money for for that to even be a narrative, if you get what I'm saying. Like, it was more just purpose and her hunger, and for the other guys, they got a bit greedy.
So for anyone that's a viewer that might not be in the music industry, and you might not have the answer to this, is it normal for you to work with an artist for a little bit, then you bounce and you carry on doing your thing? Like, is that a normal thing anywhere?
That it is a normal thing. It is a normal thing because it happens in the industry all the time. Like, especially when the manager, you meet the manager in the industry. A lot of those relationships are very fluky. Like, fucking Michael Dapper, who was with Gov before, now he's with Fala. You see Mist was with Gov before, now he's with Adex. Like, people jump around, you know what I'm saying? That's just normal. But obviously, I always think them relationships that start off together, i.e. Adex and H, where before H was anything, he was with Adex.
Yeah.
Them kind of relationships are the best relationships because it's like, before there was anyone, the person who believed in you is the person who's still gonna believe in you when there's everything else, if you know what I'm saying. So try and find that person who's hungry for this, who genuinely wants to see you win more than you feel like you want to see yourself win. That is the best kind of person to find and match that person's energy, if you know what I'm saying. Don't put the pressure on just because you've realized that they have that energy. Rely on them and leave it to them and feel like, okay, I can be relaxed now. Oh yeah, hit up my manager, hit up my You genuinely have to match that energy and both be in sync and be on that, trying to win energy, man.
I hear it. So obviously the freestyle was mentioned, so let's get to that, the audience freestyle on GRM Daily. So for clarification, Maf, did you sleep with the ex-Shannon?
Yes, I did. But in my defense,
oh god.
In my defense,
okay,
Ash and Lucas weren't my artist when me and this so-called Shannon had sex. We had a one-night stand at no restrictions, February 2016. Now, I remember the event, I remember the whole situation. This isn't a person that I know. This isn't a person that I had met prior to this party. I'm in the club, I'm at this party. She has come into my booth, do you know what I'm saying? Hold tight Kelechi, it was Kelechi's birthday. Kelechi owns that club, what's that club? Cave in Birmingham. That I'm gonna give him that little shout out.
My life.
Big up Kelechi, he owns Cave, but at the time, it was his birthday and we've gone to Nottingham for no restrictions, and this girl has come into my booth, we're all getting drunk, we've ended up going back to my hotel. It's funny because Ash on cam, he doesn't know this, but he actually was in the room when this whole scenario, the whole shit was going down. He was asleep in the room, bro. And obviously, after that night, me and this girl have never seen each other again. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, months later, me and these guys have the conversation about being serious and working together. April that year, the LottoBoyzz anthem comes out where we say, okay, this is what's gonna start what we're doing. And then later on in that year, around November, December, this so-called Shannon girl starts to come round. I'm seeing her a lot more frequently around Ash. And now I'm like, oh, okay. But obviously, I'm not saying nothing though, you know what I'm saying? I'm just being...
Did you know at this point, or you...
No.
He didn't know.
Oh, okay.
But obviously, but I'm not saying nothing because it's not my place.
Yeah.
Remember, at first, they're not actually my friends like that. I'm coming in as a manager and these are my artists, you know what I'm saying? It's over time, we've built this brotherly bond and friendship, if you know what I'm saying. So at first, I'm just not saying nothing like, isn't that, okay, cool, like, I'm not, and then...
Wait, is she giving you awkward eyes though? Like,
Nah, you know what? I'll be real. Me and her, we never used to look at each other. You know them ones where...
But you both know the secret and you're both like...
We both have that, we know the secret, and we're not trying to even address it, you know what I'm saying? But eventually, I just felt like, mate, I've got nothing to hide.
Yeah.
And our friendship, our relationship is starting to be real. Do you know what I'm saying? We're starting to go through real life situations and we're handling it as people and as friends and not just as business anymore. So one day we're at a Travelodge hotel. I remember the day, and I tell him, I'm like, bro, I know this is your girl, and I know you have your perception of how your relationship with her is, but I have to let you know that at no restrictions, me and this girl had a one night stand, and she was your girl at the time. I didn't know she was your girl at the time, but now that we're here and we understand what's going on, we understand that she was your girl at the time. So I don't know if we're gonna keep her around as your girl, but I just have to be real with you, my brother. Me and her have done this, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ash definitely got mad. Ash
As
definitely,
he would, though.
as he would. He definitely punched the wall and broke his fingernail, his knuckle that day.
Everyone's been there.
Angry, but we've got over it, and if I'm being honest, he was angry at first, but he's ended up going to have a conversation with her, and somehow it's been squashed.
Yeah.
And they were still cool.
Cool as in together?
They were still together in the camp for at least a good month or 2 months.
Yeah.
And then something else happened that now it's nothing to do with me, and she's shown her true colours to him.
For clarification, something else as in her maybe being unfaithful, or like
only he can say that.
Yeah.
Okay, so she was unfaithful again.
Okay.
And now she's shown her true colours to him, and now it's like, okay, well, whatever the excuse was why Maf happened was Maf, but now this is this. So now I definitely can't be with you no more. And he ends up breaking up with her. And this is still in 2016.
Okay.
Way before any success, way before we've actually started to win, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Months down the line, we start to win. She becomes a distant memory.
Yeah.
He ends up getting with another girl. He's with his new mainers, you know what I'm saying? And we move on. So obviously, when we break up because of the whole whatever reason we break up. I don't know if maybe it was a coping mechanism or whatever it was, but he's put it in a freestyle, and off the back of it coming out in a freestyle, everyone's thought, oh, sleeping with Maf meant he slept with his girl and that's why they broke up, or this is a recent situation that happened, when in reality, I guess that was just him kind of being manipulative, but just manipulating the perception of the situation to come out on top, if you know what I'm saying.
But let's not forget, again, emotions are high, and you thought at the time as well
that I'm a finesse.
That you get a finesse, so you've got the anger, but also that is a bit crazy.
Yeah, do you know what it is? I was being manipulative.
Yeah.
I have no problem saying
being honest, yeah.
I was being manipulative, and because obviously what happened was his interview came out. I'm seeing different changes in him. Now, automatically, everyone's looking at me. I thought, you know what? I'm the hero. Obviously,
put on the cape and save the day.
I put my cape on and I've sat down and I'm like, how can I shift it to him again? So that no one's really looking at him. Because now both of them are on socials. Do you get what I mean? So I'm like, I've learned a lot being in this Lotto Boyzz. How can I use my knowledge? Do you get what I mean? So I put my Maf hat on. You know the hat that he thinks of the plan with?
Yeah.
Obviously, without no...
Without no...
you get me? So obviously, I then said, if I mention it and don't mention her, but say his name, I know everyone's just gonna crack for him.
Yeah.
Obviously, I didn't think it would have gone the way it went. It just escalated because now everyone's like, what?
Yeah, no, listen, I was gagged at the time.
Because if you think about it, I said, imagine what she did when she was cheating with and just said his name. And it wasn't, imagine what Maf did when Maf did. It had nothing to do with Maf. I simply said, imagine what she did. Now, I know how humans, at that point, I'm getting a bit clued up on humans.
Yeah.
I understand they're going to want to delve into the problems because they don't want peace, they want problems. You get me? So I've then put that out knowing that, okay, cool, this is what it needs to do. I promise you I didn't care about views. I didn't care about any source. Obviously you care about views to an extent.
Yeah.
But I didn't really care about it like that because I knew it wasn't going to do like what the other songs did.
Yeah.
But what I wanted it to go out for was...
to change the narrative.
To change the narrative. I'm the hero. I'm the man. Little did I know it even had a negative effect on her. Do you get what I mean? And then that's when I was like, my heart is back. That's when I'm like, why am I being who I'm not? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wow, okay. So this is a lot, you know. My head is going
deep, isn't it?
No, this is crazy. So for clarification, only if you 100% know this, because again, said Shannon is not here to defend herself.
Okay, cool.
But to your knowledge, did she know that Maf, like you and Maf, was working together at the time?
You know what's so funny? I remember it plain as day. Oh, sorry to hit you, bro. I was in the barbers and she kept on saying stuff like, this is even bad, you know. She kept on saying stuff like, I don't deserve you. Like, thank you for acknowledging my value, but you know, listen, obviously I'm not taking it as anything.
Yeah.
What the amount of times I kept hearing, you're too good for me, I don't deserve you. And I'm like, that's not saying. Girl, don't say that. You get me? And then there was one day when she was like, hey, that scared me. She was like, I don't think that Maf guy is good for you. And I said, nah, he's not. What do you mean? She's like, no, man. Like, I've done my research. Yo, with me. Ladies, they're more calculated than I think men.
No, they are. They are. They are.
She said, out of her own mouth, I was on the phone, you know, I don't think he's good for you. And obviously now I'm like, raw. What's he done?
Why? What?
He's like, nah, just. And then when she started saying, nah, just to know. But because she's my girl, obviously I'm on a bit of alert. You get what I mean?
We've all been there with your partner. You believe what your partner
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So after, when everything came out, I was like, and that's why. And it took me back to when I was in the barbers. And I said, hold on, so that's why you even started saying stuff like, and she just admitted it. And you know, because of how she admitted it, the good heart in me was like, because of how you've approached the situation and you've been honest with it, like, I forgive you. Let's just try and move on. That put me in the automatic place of walking in a place of trauma and trying to figure it out without dealing with it.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So then now I have this resentment towards Maf and her at the same time. But then I'm just fobbing it like, oh, it's just whatever.
And we were still working together.
And we're still working, you get me? Then obviously me and her, we broke up because obviously another situation, and that was like, I wasn't even upset. I was like, well, thank you. Let's just keep it moving. Do you know what I mean? And obviously people, and it wasn't nothing that she did at the time. It was just because she didn't tell me. After all of that, I'm like, at least
be honest.
Be honest.
Yeah.
And then I asked her, and you know, if she was honest straight away, I would have stayed. But because she wasn't, I was like, I even had to lie and say, this is what happened, just on a whim. Because I felt in my inner being that.
See that gut feeling?
Yeah. And then she owned up after, and I said, can I be real with you? I knew nothing.
I was just saying.
I was saying it. So obviously now.
Wait, what did she say? Because I'm invested now.
She was like, well, like, but then she almost tried to turn it back on me, but obviously that's just people, anyway. But at the time, that's how it kind of transpired in terms of said Shannon, you get me? So, yeah.
Okay, right. I'd like to get my head around. So we will move on from this, but I need to just get my head around all of it.
Okay.
So to confirm then, she, at the time, did she know that you lot was working together? That's what I'm trying to understand. Like, or was it random already?
He didn't.
Yeah.
She knew that I knew him because we was talking about him.
Okay, yeah.
He had no idea who this person was.
Yeah, but she knew who he was.
was just doing his thing.
Yeah.
Genuinely?
But she knew, and the reason why I know she knew was because of how she approached his situation. Because when she found out that the name, she was like,
delete your snap. Delete, and she didn't tell me why I need to delete my snap. She's just like, oh, you're Maf.you. Oh shit, delete your snap. Wait,
is this after?
No, at the motive. While all of this is going on, I've made a snap of her. Like, oh yeah, I put the gold chain I had on at the time. I put the gold chain on her, and I've snapped her, and she was cool to be on my Snapchat. You know what I'm saying? And then after, she's asked me, what's your name? I've said my name's Maf.you, and then from there she's like, delete your snap, delete. And obviously, I've just assumed maybe she knows someone. And obviously, remember at the time, I'm a promoter. I'm doing events in Birmingham.
Yeah.
I'm bait kinda. So I'm like, maybe there's someone on my Snap that she knows and she doesn't want to be affiliated. I'm not thinking too deep into it, if you know what I'm saying. It's not until in the future when I'm seeing her around and we're actually working together, it's clicked now that, oh, the reason why you wanted to delete off Snap is because you didn't want Ash to see me post you on my Snap, if you know what I'm saying.
So after she's clocked then, like okay, so you're Maf.
Yeah.
Then after that, we've gone and done the business after.
Yeah, that's when we've ended up, like, we've carried on dancing, gone back to the hotel, whatever's happened, and then, you know what I'm saying? So it was kind of a bit of a...
Yeah. Okay. Whoa. This is a lot. Last question on this, and then we're definitely moving on after.
Okay.
So after, oh wow. Okay, right. So My head is scrambled, boy. Okay, so after this, it's all come out. She was honest, so you're like, I'm going to stay with her. What's it like in camp? Like, is she still crossing paths with Maf, or is it like a distant situation?
You know what? Because my PA at the time was her best friend. So
It's getting messy,
it was very messy.
Giving these senders.
Like my PA, who was by my side at the time, was her best friend.
Yeah.
And oh, Mimi, sorry. And obviously that one, she knows what Shannon, so-called Shannon was on, and there used to be times where we would have a motive. I remember there was a time when me and the two of them had to go somewhere, and we were in a hotel, like, but obviously this was after everything has happened, so it's almost like we're wary of Maf and said Shannon have done something in the past, and they're over it, but so now we have to be respectful. And I remember Ash, the bottom line was, it was never like, she needed to go. Either I needed to go or she needed to go, because it was weird now. Like, I remember
like the vibes were weird.
The vibes was weird now, because I remember there was a time when she had said something to Ash, and Ash flipped and was like, "That's it. I'm not working with Maf no more. If from here, if she wants to, any information that needs to come to me needs to go through Lukey." Do you remember this thing?
Yeah, because I'm going to come to you in a second, because you give him a fly on the wall. I need to know. We're coming to you.
Like, anything that needs to happen needs to go through Lukey now. Like, I'm not working with him. Master Devil. And in reality, this was just the girl being manipulative and trying to get rid of me, because it's weird between us now.
Yeah.
Like, when you walk in, it's like, you know, I know, and you're naughty, but you're still with my guy. But you know them ones.
Yeah.
So she just needed to go, and obviously, luckily, she shot herself in the foot when she done something, showed her colours, and it's like, okay, now you fool me once, shame on me, but you fool me twice. Fool me once, shame on you, and fool me twice, shame on me.
Yeah.
So it's like he weren't down to take it the second time, and he let her go.
Wow. And then, Lucas, so what was you doing all this time? Just like...
Me, I'm not involved. I'm not involved. I was just trying to keep the guys together.
Literally.
Yeah, that was it, man.
Nah, peacemaking's hard work as well, you know. So, wow, it has been like a crazy story for you guys. Like, this is so mad. I've been loving this conversation. So we're going to head to final thoughts then. From everything, the past 5 years or however long it's been, what's the one thing that you learnt from it? I'll come to you first, Lucas. What's the one thing that you learnt?
The one thing I've learned is you have to sometimes, especially in this adult life here, accept change. And change isn't always a bad thing. Change can help you grow, can help you elevate. Like, it brings new things, it brings new opportunities. So yeah, man, that's me.
I hear it. Ash?
One thing I've learned is always be true to yourself.
Yeah.
In this, because as you can see, I've played a very serious character that I couldn't uphold in it. So yeah, that's in a statement. Yeah, that's what I would say. That's what I learned.
Okay, what about you, Ma?
I took a few lessons from this. The first lesson I would say I took was humans before business. Always remember, they are humans before the business. And that, if you have that always in your mind, treat humans how you want to be treated, it will be very beneficial. Because at times, off the back of human, you will have opportunities to get dropped in your lap because of human and not the business. Like, you might have a person like Ed Sheeran say, yo, I'm gonna sign to this guy because I know him and I trust that his personality, his word is his bond. You know, one of them ones. And the business sometimes can make things bitter. So when you're playing the role that I play, sometimes be down to take sacrifices. Sometimes it doesn't always have to be, well, the contract says I own this amount, you own this amount. Sometimes you can actually lose the battle to win the war.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's growth that I've learned from this whole situation. And rule 48, you fuck up when things go wrong, just hold your cool, man.
Yeah.
Like, don't be cracking out. Like, stay calm and collective and adapted with the situation. Like, you don't need to fucking like crack out and start panicking and start making irrational decisions based off emotion. Like, just be like water and adapt with the situation. Those are the lessons.
And I know I said final thoughts, but do you know what I realised? We didn't even figure out how you like ended up, like, why it's all peaceful now. Because after all that stuff, I'm sitting here, I'm like, how did you get back together then? Like, so who reached out? How are we all happy families again?
Yeah, that's true, actually. How did we actually get here?
Well, what did you say?
No, go on. I think I was just like dodging Maf because we had a whole like mad running on social media. Not mad running on social media, but he was definitely trolling me for a bit. And then I seen him in the club and I was like, yo, you know you've took the piss and like, understand. And then we left there a while again for a bit, and then I got a call from a number one day, and I was like, yo, and we just started talking, and then from there it was just kind of rekindled, and like
little by little,
like bits by bits, we just arranged a little meetup to go have some food, and then
like for a long time, me and Lukey were linking, and his family weren't knowing. like we were just keeping it between us, no social media, just being people. Like before the business, before anything, like let's just find that back again. You know what I'm saying? We had to go through that stage of that because, like I said, me and Lukey was genuinely my bro.
Yeah.
And I'm happy now that whatever's happened, and like we're where we're at now because I know in my heart that this guy here is my bro. I know that in my heart now. You know what I'm saying? I know that the in life you have to go. Every real relationship has to go through its forming, storming, norming, and then performing phase. I feel like we've gone through all four and we're at the best position we could ever be in life. Like, there's nothing a person's gonna tell me about Lukey that I'm like, I know I would like, I just know what I can put past him, and he vice versa same.
100%.
Like it's just the realness and them kind of relationships. It's not a relationship I'm gonna be having with all my artists. It's not a relationship I'm looking to have with everyone in life because it took us a lot to get here.
Up and down.
A lot of ups and downs to get here, and for me to know his word is his word and he to know that mine is mine, if you know what I'm saying. And with Ash, for me personally, I think for a long time I had a lot of hatred and a lot of animosity towards him because of the narratives that I felt like were out there. And I think eventually, once me and Lukey had rekindled, somehow we just set a meeting here one day where we just said, no cameras, nothing, let's just talk, man. What the fuck went wrong? Like, and then they started to explain like certain things that I didn't know. I started like, and yeah, man, we just started to just take it step by step from there, man. And now we're like, and you know what's so crazy here? Because obviously Ash is not with, Ash is about to take his own journey as Imran.
Yeah.
But in the archive, there is bangers that were made that obviously when when I was involved, like music we had put together. We've got bangers there, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I think, in fact, birthing it from us having this interview here, you know what I think we should do? I think we should have a tape that is something like This Is It, where all of them records from the archive that were bangers, we just give it as a throwaway, like, so that the fans can actually hear all of the shit that would have been and could have been, if you get what I'm saying, and they get to appreciate all of what we were sitting on, because the reality of it is a lot of the confidence that came after was off what we knew we were sitting on, if you get what I'm saying, not even necessarily what was already out, if you get what I'm saying. What do you guys think about this, by the way? Do you think we should do this tape? Because I know we're not doing Lotto Boyzz as Ash and Lucas no more, but I think it would be a waste of so much energy and time that's gone into them records for us to not give the fans them songs. Obviously, fans will know that this is the old stuff that's made, so no one's gonna confuse your new journey with these old records. And same thing with Lukey, like they'll know that this is the old stuff. No one will confuse it with this new journey that we're about to take. But I think it would be really selfish for us to not drop these bangers, man. You know what I'm saying? What do you think, Kaylee?
Well, I'm a lover of music, but also I don't like peer pressure, so you lot can have this conversation after the cameras aren't there, because I'm not trying to peer pressure no one. But I love Lotto Boyzz and I love the music, so I'm always down to hear it.
Okay.
So obviously you spoke it all out. I've got to ask, because it's just bugging me. Are the family cool now? Is it all cool with the family? Okay.
Yeah, of course. I always pull up outside his yard. We smoke a fag sometimes. Even me and the plumber bumped into each other. Like, I call him the plumber, but in reality, I do have love for him, because there were times where I left the boys in his control and he got them places and he handled his responsibility. And in reality, I can see from a narrow-minded perspective who is this guy? He's calling all the shots. Like, looking at all of what he's doing, I feel like I can do that. So why is he playing that role? I'm actually a person who is related to this, like I've got his best interest at heart. You're just an outsider, like we're not even from the same country. Like, I could see how a person could have that mindset to try and get rid of me to see if they can play my role. But I guess it's happened and everyone's learned their lessons.
Do you guys still have a relationship with this person?
Yeah.
Like a good relationship with them? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm cool with him.
Oh, you're a bastard, you know. You're a bastard. You know? You are a bastard. I'm just saying it. It's my brother, like, he's a bastard. He's actually a bastard, like.
He's the plumber. That's what I remember him as. You're
bad, you know.
You didn't need to say that, bro.
You could have left it.
You could have left it,
what?
Do you know what? I'm going to be real, because you can feel it. Because every single time you're going to get me uncomfortable, and I'm not going to. I'm here to interview. I'm here to address it. So
listen.
You keep saying it still.
Yeah, but obviously that, like, I'm real, man. I'm not gonna. That's where I stand with him, because that's where he's back at now. That's like, there's nothing wrong with embracing your job. He's a plumber. And he's really good at it. He's one of the top notch. He makes like thousands of pounds from it. He's winning from it. You know what I'm saying? But that's what he's good at. I think soon he's gonna set up his own company where he's gonna have a load of plumbers under him and hopefully make hundreds of millions if possible. But like he put on my shoes, but they're not for him, kind of thing. In the most like positive way possible. God just gave us different callings, you know.
Right, we're gonna move on from this, boy, because so I think it'll be nice to end then with everyone to kind of just explain what their next steps are, whether that's music, other endeavours, or what is next for you. So we can start with you, because obviously I saw the single out on the TV. So
more music, more life, more money. Nah,
He's ready.
Sorry. Yeah, just obviously just continuing this journey. just be expecting a lot more from me, a lot more music, the consistency now as well. Now that I've got proper team behind me and that, shout out Records. Big stuff, man, big plans, definitely.
Oh, I'm excited. I feel so happy after this conversation. Ash, talk to us.
For me, I'm gonna finally take a full throttle. I didn't want to do anything until this interview was done. So now, as of like after this, I'm gonna go straight into focusing on ministry.
Yeah.
Also releasing gospel songs, so like Lukey as well. Also gonna be consistent with that. I've also started like a vlog that I'm gonna be doing just to like also look back on as well, just to have something like on the airway so people to get to see who I am and also see the change and the difference.
Yeah.
Also just to touch on the idea, I think it's a good idea. Obviously if you asked me 3 minutes ago, I'd probably be like, But obviously in terms of people being able to experience art on that alone.
You talking about the music?
Yeah, I'm talking about
Let's do it, man. Because that would be great, man.
To do anything.
Yeah, because that's the thing. It could go from, now you have to do a radio.
Just an audio tape with probably 15 to 20 bangers of all of them records and no visuals and
if that's the case, then cool. I can stand on that. We can shake hands on that. So in the air.
Oh, look at this magic happening.
That's actually great. Imagine we just birthed the idea in
the room.
That's mad.
Heavy.
That's mad.
That is crazy.
Maf, then, what's your future endeavours?
For me, my purpose, man. My purpose, I feel like God has put me on this planet to be the person, to be that gatekeeper for Birmingham, man. To be that, and potentially soon be that gatekeeper for the UK, that person that actually is able to spot talent and take them from A to B and then from B to Z and help people win. Like, do you feel like the UK, don't you feel like the UK needs like a QC, a UK version of Q? You know who QC is?
Yeah. Do you know what? I think it's hard because of sometimes different countries taking music differently, and just because it works in the States doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work here.
I hear that. Well,
not to say it's not going to work, but I'm saying
that's just,
I don't think it's like we need to have it, but obviously if we had it and it worked, then great.
Okay, so that there is exactly where I'm at. I'm trying to build this UK QC, and like I said, I feel like it's something that the UK has never had before, where there's a load of artists coming together and we're all helping each other win. And yeah, man, I'm just in the process of still just gathering a team, a credible team that I feel like is strong. Like, obviously, so far we've got things patterned, we're able to maneuver, but there can always be better and bigger and more, if you know what I'm saying. I'm looking for that woman to come on board, by the way. In fact, I'm even going to speak this out into the podcast, like that woman who is a go-getter and knows how to have that conversations, knows how to have what conversations with who, and go from A to B as well. Them kind of people, like, for example, an example of that person in the industry is Lauren. Lauren, who used to work at GRM Daily and helped it go from A to B. Before she's moved now to graduation, she's with graduation, she is a top G. Like, them kind of women, that's who I'm looking for. Like, if you're out here and you're like Lauren, like, listen, we've got hundreds of grands for you. This is where you need to come. Just drop us a DM. We're looking to build, but that's where I'm at, man. I'm just trying to build this team of that and have a machine that is is just the top-notch team, and we're able to work with artists and break artists and put them in situations where they've got a major label behind them, but they're in their percentages and how much they're making from their music is almost like a distribution deal, if you know what I'm saying. Now, this is not stuff that happens in the UK, because the moment a label gets involved, they want 80%. But all my artists will tell you, all my deals are 50-50, if you know what I'm saying, and I want to keep it like that, if you know what I'm saying. No matter how big the team gets, or no matter how, I want to keep it as, this is the one place where you will get exactly what you're getting in there, but you get it for 50% and you get more, because we're cool and we're credible and we've got so many exciting tools and things about us. Like, that's where we're at right now, man. Just ready to win.
Yeah.
Ready to win.
I hear it. Exciting times then for all of you. Thank you so much for speaking with me and being so open and vulnerable, and yeah, man, I love it. So thank you guys.
Thank you for taking your time out to interview us.
Yeah, appreciate it.
It's been nice.
This is a really, really insightful interview. I think, like I said in the beginning, there's no real blueprint for people making mistakes and learning from their mistakes. This here can be a version of a story that's gone wrong and has had its full circle. People can be able to look from this and learn from our mistakes and not make the same mistakes. Like, the people you come in with, stick with them. Like, do not let people who aren't actually involved in your shit, do not let them have a role in your business. Don't let them get into your head, because in reality, no one is gonna know your truth. Like, only you really know what you signed up for, what you're in, and why you agreed to do that at the time. Like, so if it ain't broken, don't try and fix it. That's what I would say. Mimi's trying to get a cameo. Like.
Oh, wicked. Think we're done?
Yeah.